Hello drama lovers, welcome back to my channel. Breaking news. What happens when a connection feels too real to be acting and too quiet to be denied lately? Fans can't stop asking one question: what's really going on between Esther and he? From subtle glances to moments that feel unscripted, something has shifted. And tonight, we're not here to jump to conclusions, we're here to follow the emotional breadcrumbs. Because when closeness grows this naturally, it always leaves a trace. When Esther and he first shared the screen, audiences felt it immediately. Not loud chemistry, not forced romance, but something softer, something emotionally intimate. The kind of connection that doesn't demand attention, yet somehow holds it. Their scenes weren't about dramatic declarations. They were built on pauses, on timing, on the way their expressions responded to each other before the dialogue even landed. Fans described it as comfort chemistry, the kind that feels lived in, familiar, and real. But what truly caught everyone's attention was what happened after filming ended. Instead of drifting into separate professional paths, Esther and he continued appearing within the same orbit. Industry events, promotional schedules, shared spaces that felt less coincidental over time. And while neither of them ever spoke directly about their relationship, their behavior began telling a quieter story. Fans noticed how Esther's playful energy softened around he. Her laughter became less performative, more relaxed. With him, she didn't seem to be entertaining an audience, she seemed present. And his usually composed demeanor subtly changed too. Around Esther, he smiled more freely. His attention lingered. What made this even more compelling was how unintentional it all seemed. There were no grand gestures, no viral confessions, just repeated moments of closeness that felt genuine. Social media clips spread quickly, small interactions captured by fans. A glance held half a second longer. A shared laugh that felt private. A moment of silence that didn't feel awkward, but comfortable. And in fandom culture, silence can be louder than words. As discussions grew online, one theme kept repeating: they look emotionally safe with each other. And that's when curiosity turned into something deeper. Because chemistry can be acted but emotional ease can't. Yet as fans leaned closer, the question remained: was this simply mutual respect, or something quietly growing? That uncertainty leads us to what fans noticed next. As weeks passed, fans began connecting dots, not to create rumors, but to understand a pattern. Esther and he weren't just appearing in the same places. Their energy around each other had changed. Interviews revealed small but telling details. When asked unrelated questions, their eyes instinctively found each other. When one spoke, the other listened, not politely, but attentively. These weren't scripted interactions. They happened during pauses, between questions, in moments meant to be invisible. Fans also noticed how Esther, known for her expressive personality, became noticeably calmer when he was nearby. Her gestures softened. Her voice lowered. Meanwhile, he appeared more emotionally open, less guarded, more responsive. This wasn't about romance cliches. There were no dramatic rumors, no forced narratives. Instead, what people saw was emotional synchronization, two individuals slowly adjusting their rhythms around each other. Online discussions shifted from "are they dating?" to something far more interesting: they seem genuinely comfortable together. That distinction matters. Because comfort isn't something celebrities fake easily. It shows up in body language, in how close people stand without realizing it, in how silence feels shared rather than empty. What made this story resonate even more was the timing. Both Esther and he were navigating intense career phases. busy schedules, public pressure, expectations. And yet, whenever they crossed paths, there was a noticeable sense of grounding. Fans began speculating not wildly, but thoughtfully. Maybe they weren't labeling anything. Maybe they were simply allowing something to grow naturally, away from the noise. And in an industry where everything is curated, that restraint felt powerful. Still, the biggest shift hadn't happened yet. Because what fans picked up on next wasn't just closeness, it was emotional alignment. At some point, closeness stops being physical. It becomes emotional. Fans noticed that Esther and he began mirroring each other not intentionally, but instinctively. Similar reactions, similar pacing, even similar emotional tones during separate appearances. It was as if they were slowly learning each other's emotional language. This is where the narrative deepened. Observers pointed out how Esther's playful public persona felt more grounded lately. Less exaggerated, more introspective. And while no one claimed this change was solely because of fans couldn't ignore the timing. Meanwhile, Yu's presence seemed warmer, less distant, more emotionally expressive in subtle ways. What makes this compelling isn't the idea of a confirmed relationship but the possibility of emotional closeness forming quietly. No announcements. No validation seeking. Just two people finding balance in each other's presence. And fans respected that. Instead of demanding answers, many chose to simply watch. To appreciate the softness. To protect the space. Comments shifted from speculation to support. Whatever they are, I hope they're happy. They look peaceful together. This feels real, not rushed. In a culture obsessed with labels, that patience was rare. Because sometimes, the most meaningful connections don't need to be defined publicly to be felt deeply. And that realization brought the conversation to a gentler place. Maybe the most beautiful part of Esther and Yu's story isn't whether they're together or not. Maybe it's the way they remind us that closeness doesn't always announce itself. That emotional bonds can grow quietly, without permission, without explanation. In an industry fueled by exposure, their subtlety feels refreshing. Almost rebellious.